Trust yourself as you begin to face resurfacing old fears. Trust the instinct in you and the intuition that takes you forward. Trust the doubts, disturbances, and fears that arise as you instinctually pursue your intuition. Trust your inner guidance to take you forward into fruitful landscapes, into desired outcomes, into realized potential. Take the rough with the smooth. Allow things within to come up from the past, declarations of fear from the past to arise, and to not be put off by and to attach yourself to as you pursue the path within, as you pursue an instinctual guidance within which says, in the face of resurfacing old fears, yea, and I shall, and I am. This is where we find our strength. This is where we find our why. We cannot find our whys in fears. We cannot find our purpose in fears and doubts. We can only find it in a trust of our instincts within, our intuition, our guidance, which we feel, opposed to the fears that we listen to. And to understand that both can coexist together, and that you don't have to only act when you feel great. That your purpose and your power is beyond the fluctuations of fears and doubts from the past that arise. To understand the totality of the experience as you pursue your inner guidance, as you pursue that within which knows the next step, which you know and you feel, and then acting more on that feeling of your intuition and your inner guidance that subtly and softly nudges you forward. And in that process, you begin to loosen your attachment to listening to fears and to doubts and concerns that would prefer to remain in the past, in the known, in what was. Whereas that subtle intuition within, that subtle guidance within, nudges us forward, asks us to take one more step, to retrieve that within which is heartfelt, not thought or analysed. And so we are asked to let go of the listening to fears, and to instead trust a feeling of instinctual intuition within. And to understand that when we take the action of this instinctual intuition, we are not only building and manifesting in our lives, but we are also building and manifesting a new relationship, a new expression, a new connection within. One founded on our truth, which reveals itself in the present moment, not in carefully considered and structured fears and doubts stemming from the past. Instead, allowing the present moment to reveal itself, or to reveal ourselves, with each fresh moment, with each fresh breath. This is where we find our strength, our guidance, and our next step. Because fear will take us circular. Fear will take us round in circles. whereas our instinctual intuition can allow us to open up and expand and explore and experiment and create. We have to let go of the spinning around and to instead trust ourselves, which is heartfelt. Trust our connection to ourselves, our instinctual intuition, to guide us naturally, without rushing, without forcing, to take one step at a time, and to see the natural permutations of that as we look to live in harmony with that instinctual now, that intuitive now, with our intuitive now, here in this present moment, which reveals itself to us rather than us projecting onto it that which is fearful in our past. And to understand they are interlinked, they are connected, and one comes with the other. We connect with we build our trust with our instinctual intuition by observing fears rather than acting on them, by softening in the presence of doubts rather than fixing. And so they are fuel to our furnace, to our potential, and they allow us to manifest and create a new relationship within, a new strength within, but also new beauty without in our lives. This is our fine-tuning as we tune ourselves to creativity and beauty, but not through resisting, but through accepting and showing understanding to that which is fearful from our past. And so we begin to see ourselves totally, holistically, and importantly, lovingly. This is where we find the fruits of our possibility, not in resisting, but in understanding. Giving patience to ourselves in those moments where we would otherwise, in the past, have listened to fears, would have gone round in circles with them, and to provide a softness to that cycle which we once lived in. This is where we find revelation through not fixing, but in accepting and tending to, and softening in and amid. And in this softening, we allow the the instinctual intuition within to rise up and to find itself naturally in our next step, which is without force or effort, or indeed thinking. It's more of a natural process. One does not think when they walk down the street. You trust yourself to glide down graciously. And this is the same which comes in with this is the same expression in our lives through tending to our instinctual, or connecting to our instinctual intuition, where we show tenderness and understanding to the circular nature of fears ultimately resurfacing from the past and trying to reiterate itself in the future, or indeed the present. But we had the choice to soften into ourselves in these moments, to allow our instinctual intuition to rise. And this is what I leave you with to find yourself being patient and present with the circular nature of fears of the past, trying to remind us to be concerned and to not act or fix or solve or plan or strategize, but to sink into oneself, to allow oneself to emerge spontaneously in the present moment. This is my invitation to you. Till next time, bye.